right. What's going on, guys? Welcome on into the Brown Table. Please take a seat. My name is Josh Halprin. I'm here with Seth Kruger, and we're going to be talking about our Week 1 predictions. So let's start it off with Thursday, September 5th, Seth. We got Ravens Chiefs. What are you thinking?
I'm so excited that it's so soon. Like just over a week from now, at least when we're recording this, it's one of the best games already. Like, obviously, we know it could be a Super Bowl prediction, but it's way too early in the season to tell.
Super Bowl, they're
But
both in the AFC.
honest, sorry, you know what I meant. A divisional championship.
Could be a good
But
divisional,
honestly,
like
I'm feeling
I don't know. I'm right with you. I'm excited to see the repeat. I um I think that the Ravens have had a lot of just a better offseason than the Chiefs have.
I mean, Derrick Henry, just to begin with.
I
Like,
mean, Derek, like, how are you going to defend that read option, dude?
yeah, I know. When you have a double threat on the ground and then
Um,
whoever Lamar wants to throw to as well, like,
for those that
it,
don't know, by the way, a read option is kind of like a choice run where a quarterback can either keep it for themselves and run with it, or they can hand it to the wide receiver and have the wide receiver run with it. Derrick Henry is like kind of known as just like an extreme power back. Like he just bulldozes people, he runs them over, and that with
yeah.
Lamar Jackson's speed in that backfield is just going to be deadly. Like
Yeah,
I'm very excited to see that connection personally.
me too. I'm liking the Ravens to win the.
One move that I don't think is talked about enough from this offseason is the Ravens picking Nate Wiggins 29th overall. I don't think that's really been from what I've seen, I haven't really seen many talking points about it, but like him with who's that safety? Hamilton.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Him
yeah.
him with Hamilton, their speed together is gonna be scary.
Yeah, I mean they're both young, but like in this day and age, those backs that are young are like often most successful. And then you add in the speed. Like you're right that everyone's talking about the offensive side of the Ravens, but low key, that first round pick on the
No, I
defense.
mean when you look at what the Chiefs did, like I mean, what did the Chiefs do really? Release Kadarius Toney and replace him with Juju again?
Yeah, I mean mid for mid. I guess Juju was a little bit more successful when he was there, but that was 3 4 years ago at this point. So
Yeah, I mean, Juju's kind of like ever since he started beefing with Antonio Brown, like just kind of lost all of his credibility. I thought he had retired. I didn't even know he was still on the Patriots.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right, let's move it over to Friday and talk Packers Eagles. What are you thinking?
Well, there's a lot of buzz about that one because I
I'm pretty
mean
sure
it's
that game's in
honestly,
Brazil too.
yeah, that's crazy. They like can't wear green in the stadium. Is that what it is?
I'm pretty sure. I'm
That's a
pretty
great
sure.
story. I'm liking the Packers as much as I
Really?
don't want to count out the Eagles. I mean, Saquon Barkley could either be like the best running back in the league with them or could just be completely useless, and I can't really tell yet. So I'm not sure about that. But the Packers, like, if they come out like they finished the season, obviously they kind of threw it away at the end there in the playoffs. But the way they finished the regular season when Jordan Love got comfortable, it could happen.
No, definitely. The one kind of thing that I don't think enough people are talking about with the Eagles is how Jason Kelsey's retirement is going to affect that offensive line. Because, like, who's their center?
I have no idea. I
Yeah,
mean,
who have they got playing there?
who they got on the line in general, like he was the star of the line. Everyone else is doing their job, but
I
yeah,
don't know. I know they've drafted a few busts like throughout the past few years.
yeah,
I don't know. And then they took a guy out of Toledo, the corner in the draft.
yeah. I mean, I feel like their secondary wasn't like notoriously bad or anything, as much as maybe like their line might turn into be
I
if
don't know.
those
Apparently, they thought their
yeah,
secondary was pretty bad, getting both
I
him
guess
and Cooper DeJean.
yeah, yeah, that's true. That'll be exciting to see
I
Cooper
was I
DeJean
was
play.
so mad when that happened, dude. I remember I was sitting down on the couch. I was like, Packers are finally gonna take Cooper DeJean. That's my boy right there. Like, bring him to me. But then just swept
Now
in
you
right
get to
after.
now you
Hated to
get to
see it.
face him week one. Now you get to face him week one.
Yeah, I mean, it's the draft though. It's gonna happen. I don't know. I'd love to see a Packers win, but this game for me is a toss up. I think it's definitely gonna come down to a field goal or a game winning drive or something like that.
Is it? It's in Philly, right? Or is
I'm pretty
it
sure it's in
actually?
Brazil.
Oh, yeah, you said that. Because Philly fans like they're ruthless, but you
Oh,
take
that
that.
one guy is still gonna be there though. The guy that with like all the face paint and stuff.
The
I don't
big
know.
mohawk.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. I can't remember what they
Yeah,
call him, but like,
I don't know, but
he'll be there. He'll be there. No big deal.
yeah, but even still, like that's no Lincoln Financial out in Brazil.
All right, let's move into a game that's not really between two playoff teams. And let's talk some Panthers Saints.
Yeah, kind of bottom of the barrel there. I mean, the Saints have been bang average, so I guess they're not bottom of the barrel. Like they're not down there with the Cardinals and the Panthers and all them. But I don't really know if with all the other games going on, if they're really going to get any of the attention that. I mean, they're professionals, so they deserve attention. But compared to the other games, I don't really see a whole lot happening there. I don't think the Panthers are ready to come out and win a divisional game right away. It's just even with the turnover that the Saints have had, the Panthers are just still that team that's just going to be at the bottom, I think.
Yeah, I mean they need a few years to just kind of farm in the draft. You got Leggett, that's a good pick. That Bryce Young pick is really coming back to bite you right now with how the Bears have just totally revamped their entire everything. But that's a topic that we'll get to later. I don't know. I think this should be a Saints win. What interests me the most is how much we're going to see Spencer Rattler, if at all,
Mm, true.
because he's had
Yeah.
a pretty good preseason, like quietly,
Yeah. I mean,
because so much of it has been focused on Jaden Daniels.
yeah, that's
But
true.
like,
Preseason, you can never trust too much with it, but at the same time, at some point, they might have to translate that into the actual game and see if that does anything for them. I don't know if they'll have to make any changes against the Panthers, though. I feel like that might not be the big struggle for them.
mhm. I don't know. I think this one's going to be like a Saints win by like 10 or 13, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I
The
agree.
Panthers just don't have the pieces right now.
No, and I don't think it'll come this year at all, but especially not week one.
All right, this next one might upset some of our friends, but we're going to talk it. Giants Vikings.
There's a lot of friends that are interested in this one.
Yeah, do we want to
I'm
upset
well,
Zebo right now or no?
I think he can accept the reality that Daniel Jones
I'm sorry,
is truly
Zach. The Vikings are winning. That's not a debate, dude. If I
even
pulled this off, I would be very surprised. But
yeah, even with
Daniel
the Vikings
Jones is
quarterback.
looking like right now what he was projected to be, back in 2019 when he was drafted.
Yeah. I mean, the Vikings don't have much better under their center, but they're
I
not
don't know. You got
terrible.
Jay Jettas, man.
Yeah, I
No
mean, they
matter
just got
who's throwing him the ball, he's gonna get there. Like it's just a
yeah.
known. Like
I mean, Darren
he's
Hall played.
arguably one of the best 50-50 ball wide receivers in the league.
Yeah,
He's probably the most well-rounded
arguably.
receiver in the league.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd be interested in
And then
that
bring
debate.
in
Like he's definitely top three, like most well-rounded. And I mean, Neighbors will get there. Neighbors full of talent, full of opportunity, but with Daniel Jones as your quarterback as a rookie, it's very very hard to
yeah,
break out like that.
I agree. Yeah, and the Vikings they boosted up their secondary, I think, a little bit, or maybe it was their linebacker room. I saw they made a few moves in the offseason though, so I think Daniel Jones being the way he is, he's just not going to be able to withstand because
I'd much rather have
the
Sam
Vikings.
Darnold as my QB to Justin Jefferson, and they got Aaron Jones now too.
That's true.
It's
We'll see
it's
how he
it's
does.
Jones versus Stingley in the backfield versus each other. So it's just
Yeah,
like,
that will be good too. We'll see how well Jones fits into the NFC North rivals offense, but
I mean, I am being totally honest here. Sorry, Zach. I'd be surprised if the Giants scored more than 10 points. Like genuinely. Sorry about the train, by the way. Live by a train. It happens. Let's talk Patriots Bengals.
another one where both of those teams could just kind of end up right in the middle of the pack by the end of the season. You don't really know. Is Jamar Chase even playing? Who knows?
Is T Higgins even
But
playing? Do they have
who
any
knows?
receivers?
Did Joe Burrow dye his hair again? Maybe that might
I
be
mean,
the,
who do
key.
they have running the ball now too? Is like Zach Moss.
I think so, yeah, because Mixon is in Texas.
He
So
is in Texas now. He is a Texan.
yeah.
I don't know.
But
I hate to. What happened to the Bengals, man?
I know
The
they
Bengals were
really
doing so good. They made that Super Bowl and then just fell apart.
Yeah, and without much change either. That I don't really know
They
what went
still have
wrong
their
there.
core pieces there. I don't really know what the issue is there, but
I
what
mean, Mixon's gone, but even last year they still were not doing what they were doing before.
I thought that these 1 o'clock games were going to be a lot more interesting. We got Steelers Falcons next.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing to watch there is like quarterbacks for the Steelers. That I mean, they named Russell Wilson the starter,
Just about to say
but
that.
Justin Fields is right there.
That's your guy right there.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I liked him a little better in Chicago, but
It's your special guy right there.
well, Russell Wilson is too. He's a Badger, so
I mean, fair enough, fair enough.
yeah.
I guess you got me beat there. I don't know. I'm curious to see how Cousins does. I'm really curious to see how involved Kyle Pitts is.
I'll tell you, I'm still not touching him in any fantasy football drafts.
Oh
But
God, no, never. No, I'm not. I'm
yeah,
not saying for fantasy. I'm just saying like in general. Like I'm curious to see how he plays this week one. I'm also curious how Arthur Smith is going to do coaching against his former team
that's true. That's a good point.
because I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure he's their offensive coordinator now, right? The Steelers
yeah,
because
I
they
believe
got
he
rid of
is.
Canada.
They did fire Matt Canada. That was the big movement last year. Yeah,
Yeah,
that'll
I
be
mean that
interesting.
that and Fields were their and Wilson were their like big moves.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Najee, he's become a little bit of a miss recently, but there's nothing stopping him from turning it around and
I mean,
becoming.
besides their terrible offensive line.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, did he even when he was kind of flourishing into a little bit of a star, he didn't really have much out in front of him. So who knows if maybe he can start to do that again.
I mean, I hope so. I loved Najee in college.
Yeah,
It'd
he
be
was fun
really
to
nice to see him rejuvenate his career, especially with such a. I don't know. I've always kind of had a soft spot for the Steelers. Like
James.
being from Detroit, dude. Like another just like working city. You're like you gotta just
Yeah,
respect it.
that
And like
yeah.
Steelers fans, dude. Jonah, love you, dude. Living with a Steelers fan for a year, like really just wakes you up to that entire culture. Like, dude, like, I don't think you understand. Like, Steelers fans are religious. Like Sunday, like you bet, dude. Like there were like FaceTimes that would happen so that people could watch the games. Like you watched that game. Like it had to
When
happen.
you have the king of consistency coaching your team, constant winning record, like it's hard to pass that up.
Yeah, and especially, I'm interested in seeing Pickens against Terrell. I think that's going to be an interesting matchup. But I gotta go Steelers here.
Yeah, I'm with you. If Fields or sorry, if Wilson can get Pickens the ball more than Pickens got the ball last year from Pickett, that could turn into a bit of a dangerous
I'm also
offense.
curious to see if they try and utilize Najee in space.
Yeah, I mean it'll I think it'll depend on if he can even get open with that offensive line, but or if Wilson will even have the time to throw it to him. But I guess we'll see. I mean, the Falcons don't have an incredible pass rush, so maybe they'll start to get their footing a little bit in the first week.
All right, let's talk Texans Colts.
That's a good one.
What are you
I
thinking?
like it.
That is going to be a close game.
It's really tough to call. I mean, two like such an electric quarterback matchup, and I mean the receiving course for both two, as long as everybody's healthy, like that could be a really high-powered offensive game.
Yeah, I mean, I personally I got to go Texans here just because. I mean, you got to take the hot hand, right? Like AR's coming back from a season-ending injury. CJ Stroud's
Yep.
just coming off a rookie of the year season and they've definitely improved. You got Stephon Diggs now. Their wide receivers are Stephon Diggs, Nico Collins, and Tank Dell. I'm curious to see
Mhm.
how Tank Dell returns, but with him as like the slot third guy, like he'll
Yep.
be fine in that role because pressure's going to
Adding
be off.
Mason.
He'll have time to just develop a little bit more and recover from that injury. Whereas
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson's going to be kind of like thrown under the bus.
Yeah. I think he's got the potential to be good, but I think he's not going to be exactly ready to match the pace that the Texans have on offense. I mean, even with like we were talking about earlier, that they got Joe Mixon back there now too. So that's like
No,
all
exactly.
cylinders.
Like the real question is just can Richardson rise to the occasion? Can he step up to what he needs to step up to?
Yeah, I don't think we'll have a definitive answer to that in this first week anyway. But I do like the Texans in this one
No,
as
I
well.
think
But
this is I think this is a game that Colts fans kind of need to take with a grain of salt. Be
yeah,
like, you know what, like week one, it's not preseason anymore. Like this one counts, but win or lose, like we just still want to get our guys just going. And to
yeah,
see
absolutely.
Michael Pittman have a good game too would be really big for Colts fans. I wouldn't be looking for the win. I'd be looking for just Pittman to just pop off.
And
If he has over 100 yards and a touchdown, like that's a win in my book.
even Taylor too. I mean, he had a down year last year as well. So if they get him on the ground as well, that could be promising signs for them.
100%, 100%. Let's talk Cardinals Bills.
I mean, I love Kyler Murray. I just I don't think he's in a position to succeed with the people around him and with his own abilities. Yeah,
I'm very curious to see how Harrison does.
that's true.
When
That
you
is
when you
true.
take a receiver that high, he better live up to the expectation. And against a secondary like the Bills, I know I'm forgetting what his name is, but I'm pretty sure that they just lost their like stud linebacker Mike for the season. I'm forgetting his
Uh,
name, and it's a no. I'm sorry, Andrew, dude, but forgive me, Andrew.
yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, but like when Kyler was throwing to D-Hop a few years ago, that was elite.
No,
So
D Hop is arguably a top five catch of all time with Kyler.
yeah, absolutely, and it's the game winner that he had over two defenders. If Marvin Harrison Jr. can do that for Kyler Murray, and Kyler just has to get it in his area,
Hmm.
there could be a chance there. But I still think that they're not really going to be ready to take the big step forward from last season. The Bills are just they're consistent enough to start the season with a win against the Cardinals.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Bills are probably gonna win it. I'm curious to see how Keon does. Wrong way. They're,
Yep.
they're,
Yep.
yeah. Curious to see how Keon does. I just think it's an easy to call game. I don't think that it's all there for the Cardinals right now, and they
No,
still have some growing pains. But I do think that Kyler's gonna pop off this year. I think he's tired of the jokes and he's ready to pop off.
I don't mind that. Honestly, I don't. I hope he does for his own sake. But yeah, we'll just have to see. I mean, the coaches that they've had in the past too, like none of it has helped him get anywhere near coming back. So one of these years, maybe it'll be time to turn it around.
I mean, hopefully, if he lives up to that number one overall pick, and the Heisman, like he was a Heisman winner.
Yeah.
Like people forget about how electric he was in college.
Yeah. Even his first few years in the league. I mean, the Cardinals were wild card team when he was there in his first few years. But
Yeah, and then he started playing COD.
yeah,
All downhill from there.
reading the playbook.
All right, this next one I'll let you run with. Titans Bears. Give it to me.
Yeah, it's the Bears. I mean, there is so much hype around them. Like they have revamped their entire offense. Obviously, you don't know exactly how Caleb Williams is going to do just because he is the rookie in this situation. But when he's throwing to DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney, Keenan Allen, Cole Kmet, like all those guys, that is just you. Even as a rookie, you really don't have to do a whole lot out of your comfort zone to get those guys the ball and let them make the plays. And even on the defensive side, they've upped their secondary. Their pass rush is like on the come up as well. So I the Titans just are not ready for that. I mean, they've kind of been in a little bit of turmoil too. And I think the Bears hype, while it may not run all season long, I think they're going to start off strong with it in week one.
Yeah, no, I'm with. I've got the Bears at kind of a 500 team, but I do think that they pull this one out. Like
Yeah.
that Bears hype man has been crazy. Like I'm with it, but I also don't think that like for what did CJ Stroud go his rookie year? What the Texans go last year?
Yeah. I
I,
mean,
I know they were over, and I'm pretty sure that they made the wild card, but like that was it. Like
yeah, the Texans
they,
they won a playoff game last year.
oh, then I'm tripping.
Yeah, they beat the Joe Flacco Browns in the playoffs.
Right. And then they
Yeah,
lost to who was it? The Chiefs.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm interested in seeing what Titans do. Bears
Yeah, I
do.
don't.
I just think I think Bears are gonna win it, but I think it's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, it's just a lot of like unexpecteds in that game. Like we don't really know what's gonna
Who are the
happen.
Titans receivers? or running back.
Man, they have Tajay Spears as their running back, but
I mean, like
yeah,
they're
it's
they're not they're not giving me much to work with here in terms of talking about him.
I guess
Besides
they have
Will Levis and the fact that they
D-Hop is
just
still
traded
there,
Malik
isn't he?
Willis.
D-Hop is still there, right?
D Hop is there, the like old D Hop.
Yeah, he's not. It's that's no younger D-Hop there. That's for sure.
Yeah, have you ever seen that joke around where it's like Titans jerseys look like where players go to like watch their career die?
Yeah, I mean they haven't proved it otherwise, so
I mean, until they prove that allegation wrong, and
you can't argue it.
draft a guy that's not named Quentin Johnston.
Yeah,
Like we'll see. All right, Jaguars Dolphins.
that's Lawrence. I really don't know how I feel about him. He's he's so hard to like call. He's so inconsistent. I feel like Trevor Lawrence is. Um, Obviously, the Dolphins are going to be another high-powered offense. Like their whole thing is speed. Obviously, there's the joke that Tua can't throw accurately, so they just go for speed. They have Tyreek Hill, their running back that just broke out of nowhere last year and is now going to be the top guy there. So
Yeah, I don't know. I think you got to go Dolphins here with just that speed and space, that old Josh Gaddis special.
yeah,
Just like Jaguars ain't stopping Tyreek and Waddle, dude. Like it's just not gonna
no,
happen. Like
no,
you might stop them on some drives. There could be injuries, but this should be a Dolphins win. If I
yeah,
if I was a betting man, I,
yeah.
I
The Jaguars just they
I'll
I
knock
don't
on
see.
wood right now, but I'm taking Dolphins there.
Yeah,
All right, Broncos Seahawks.
the Seahawks, man. I think they're borderline wild card team this year. If they can get everything going right, especially on offense, that offense can be really good. And it's Geno Smith, right? He's still
Yeah,
playing
yeah, yeah,
quarterback
yeah.
there. So he's been there for a while. DK's been there for a while.
They
They
got
just
K9, DK Metcalf, Tyler
they just
Lockett still
drafted
right,
well,
Jackson Smith and
so
Jigba.
that's three solid receivers if Geno has his head on straight. He's
You
gonna be
got a
able to
good
find them.
offensive line.
Yep.
And then with Bo Nix also in his first start, like he might be 23, but it's his first NFL game. Like
Yeah.
actually, like
I mean the
I
Broncos
don't
were
really see a way that the Broncos win this one.
me neither. They were a bit of a mess last year with a veteran quarterback. So the having
Yeah,
Bo Nix in
exactly.
there
They
is
just don't have anything really going for them there.
no.
Raiders Chargers.
Oof.
That's
That's
a
another
battle of two not very high caliber teams.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, with Eckler gone, like Keenan Allen's gone.
I don't know, dude. I'm gonna say it, dude. Give me that two tight end Gardner Minshew mustache magic special. I'm going Raiders.
I do, you know what? I can't really argue that. I'm a big Josh Jacobs fan too, so I would not mind them seeing take the Chargers down. I mean, the Chargers have been just kind of sitting right in the middle of
And
everything.
with all the
Every
stuff going on with Harbaugh right now,
yeah,
like big
yeah,
cheater that guy.
huge cheater. Maybe they win because he'll cheat.
Yeah, I mean if they cheat, like they can win. I mean it shows.
Yeah, clearly. Yeah, I'll take the Raiders with you though.
All right. Got the final few games here. Cowboys Browns, break it down for me.
CD got paid. He'll be there. The Cowboys just signed another running back too. I'm blinking on who it was. Dalvin Cook. And I mean, they have CD is obviously the star guy, but they have some guys that fill the slots in as well. If Dak can be normal and not be terrible like he sometimes is, I see them taking the Browns down. I mean, the Browns. I'm excited to see Nick Chubb back. I felt so bad for him when he got hurt last year, and I think he was going to
I don't
continue
know.
to have a
I
breakout
don't think he's gonna be the
season.
same after that injury, man. I'd
I
love to,
hope he
I'd
does.
love to see Golden Age Georgia Nick Chubb, or like those first few seasons Chubb, but like that was a bad injury.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, the way they ended the season with Joe Flacco as quarterback, they don't really have a whole lot of momentum coming into the first game, especially against the Cowboys, who, behind them and the Eagles should ideally be at the top of their divisions of the NFC East. So the Cowboys have high expectations. I don't think they're going to let the Browns knock them down
Cowboys
early.
should win this one, if I had to guess. All right,
Yep.
Commanders Bucks.
Baker Mayfield season. I think he's back.
I don't think we need to talk about this one much. I think this is pretty handily to the Bucks, but I am
Yeah.
excited to see what the Commanders can do with Scary Terry and Jaden Daniels.
Scary Terry, either if Jaden Daniels can't get him the ball this year, Terry needs to get out of Washington because he deserves so much better.
I think it's going to
But
be a very exciting connection to watch, but I don't think it's really going to go anywhere as of right now.
not a it's not a game winning connection.
All right, here's one to talk about and a little rematch for you. Rams Lions.
I'm so excited. So excited. I mean, the Lions hype is real. They proved it last year after going 9-8, which was already an incredible season for them. They turned around and broke out 12 regular season wins. And then the biggest win in the last 30 years against the Rams. I don't think that
Against
they're
Matt
gonna let them.
Stafford too. Can you believe that?
I know that was
Like
you gotta
if you told me 10 years ago that the Lions' first playoff win in my lifetime would be against Matthew Stafford, I wouldn't believe you.
no
Like
chance.
that's crazy. Like the
Yeah,
fact that that even happened, just like that. Wow.
yeah.
No,
But
I don't
I
know.
think the Lions are
I'm right with you though. Rams. I haven't really been paying much attention to their offseason, I hate to say. I know they finally drafted in the first round and got Verse, I believe, who I
yeah.
was pretty high on. I have a pretty good grade on him. I think he's going to be super interesting, especially if they can get Aaron Donald in that front office coaching. Like who better to teach you how to play right end than Aaron Donald?
That is true.
Um,
Yeah, now he
End of the
retired.
day, Lions beat the Rams last year. It might have only been by a point, but a win is a win. You can blame officiating all you want. You didn't score when it mattered. Life happens, move on. And the Lions have only gotten better this year.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Like the
I'm with
Lions
you on
literally show no sign that they will lose this game. And I'll knock on wood right now. I encourage you to do the same, but
that. Yep.
I don't see a way that. I mean, I do, but I don't think it'll happen.
I agree. I've got the Lions in this one.
All right, last game, Jets Niners.
That's going to be a fun one. Hopefully, Aaron Rodgers lasts more than two plays.
Yeah,
And
that'd
if he
be
does,
nice.
I think the Jets have a legitimate chance to be in this game. I mean, the debut for him to come back on Monday Night Football, but the Niners are the Niners. Like you can't stop them. Like in that sense, McCaffrey, Debo,
That
Kittle.
offense is just too deadly, and they're just too loaded.
Yeah, I mean there are question marks about Ayuk still. Who knows what's going to happen with him? But even without him, I mean, it's so much just. I mean, the Jets have obviously been focusing on their offense more. Their defensive line is pretty solid, but against the Niners offense,
No,
yeah,
because you're
that's
talking about guys that almost won the Super Bowl last year.
yeah.
Like
I think they're taking a step back at all. I think they're going to continue to ride that momentum and
Yeah,
have another.
you're talking about guy like the Niners might honestly be better than the Chiefs this year. Like I think if you play that game back with these two rosters, you can't count out Patty Mahomes, but that
Yeah,
Niners roster is scary. And with Ricky Purcell, I'm so excited to see how he does.
I agree. I think the Niners have this one down. I think Aaron Rodgers will have a good return, but they're going to need a few more weeks to really figure it out if they want to be at the top of the AFC East.
All right, well that rounds it out. So everybody enjoy your week one. Thank you for sitting down at the brown table with us. If you have any comments or anything about our takes or want to join in the conversation at all, it's highly encouraged. Like please reach out with anything. There's multiple ways too. And we'll see you in our next piece of content. All right.